Good morning, everyone, and a very, very happy Friday to you. We finally made it to the weekend. Got to get through Friday. Welcome to the After Show, one of our favorite shows of the morning.
Yeah.
We get to talk directly to you. It gives us time to really soak up your comments and answer them, because a lot of people are going to be wondering what on earth is going on this weekend with the hurricane, that's making its way. Jimmy Q's going to break it all down for us. Okay, so what is it looking like right now? What is this system?
This is tough. This is a hurricane. This is Hurricane Rosa or Rosa. They are both acceptable here. It's going to be, it looks like it's moving out to sea now.
It does.
But it's going to make a turn to the north and then eventually back to the northeast, and it's going to come right over Arizona, possibly Phoenix. Now that's going to be tricky because we're 3 days out, and you know how these hurricanes move and the strength of them.
Totally.
But I think when they finally get here, we'll start to see some showers as early as Sunday night, and the heavy stuff Monday and Tuesday, and leftover storms on Wednesday. Some of the tracks pushing it to western Arizona, which would affect Lake Havasu, Parker, and those areas. But it could be a very dangerous storm with a lot of rain. And we've had 4 tropical storms that have hit Arizona in the past. The last was 1997.
Well, and what you said that was interesting was that the last one to hit San Diego, Oceanside specifically, was 1936. And why is it that San Diego doesn't see nearly as much activity there?
It's the water's too cold.
Right.
And tropical hurricanes are no different than a tropical plant, a beautiful tropical plant that you would buy. You put it out there and you get it in the cold, it dies. And that's what happens. These things feed off of humidity, warm water. So yeah, San Diego's good. And that I never checked it. I don't know if they've ever confirmed. That might have been an El Nino year when the water gets warm.
Yes.
So if the water was warm enough, it could have supported a hurricane, and it landed right on Oceanside. Is where it landed. 1936.
Oh, I wasn't there then.
Went up there. That was a few years, just a few years ago.
Just missed it.
But so this is exciting stuff. You have about 3 days to prepare.
Exciting, but is it also scary? Someone wrote in, and I don't know how correct this is, that we could be looking at 6 to 10 inches. Again, I don't know how correct that is.
No. That's
way too much.
That's way too much.
Okay.
But 1 to 2 inches is still a lot of flooding, and maybe a 4-inch you could say, but it's still a ways off. Use caution. The best thing to do is to prepare. Make sure your house is okay. Shore up little areas that could flood, and then wait for this to get in here.
Especially if you're in low-lying areas, because there's a lot of places like that here in the valley where people have homes,
oh, God,
that are low. So you're going to need to get,
there are washes everywhere. Yeah, if you need sandbags, get those. I have areas in my garage that when it rains a certain amount, it starts coming into the garage. Yes. So sandbag that.
You said you had about that 36-hour window to kind of get prepared and plan
plenty
ahead.
Of time. And we'll also, as you're watching 12 News and watching all of our social media, we'll be updating you, because as this storm starts to change, we'll have another forecast coming up. Lindsay's going to be here with another forecast. We'll update that in the morning. We'll update that throughout the rest of the day, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be on top of this, so nobody should really be.
I know, Brian.
Rain is rain. Yes, but if you're in a flood zone, then rain is detrimental.
But if it gets inside your house, and even just an inch of it gets on the side of your drywall, your house is devastated.
Heather Stewart weighing in saying Rosa is the name of her red Camaro. Hey, you know what? You never know which headlines are going to grab people and for what reason.
Let's hope that that hurricane doesn't flood out that Camaro, because Jimmy Q and I still have
lowriders.
Oh, your story from we still have a lot. I still get anxiety thinking about that day of the storm of the century. Was it 2014?
2014, September 8th,
yes,
I believe.
It was we were driving into work. Your car got flooded out.
Yep, I had to pull over at a Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
And they had to send a photographer to get me in a big truck.
All the highways were shut down. The 60 was shut down. The 202 was shut down. I'm trying to take side streets to get from Mesa to downtown Phoenix, which is possible. But you're looking at these intersections, and you cannot tell how much water is in those intersections.
No.
And I'm seeing people go through the intersection in their cars
like a boat.
All of a sudden, their car you can tell that it's no longer touching the ground. Like it just started to float, and then it would float off to the side.
Oh my gosh.
And either hit another car.
The 10 had cars floating.
So nervous. And I just so happened to take because at that time I was driving a Honda Fit,
I
and
remember that little thing.
Yes, at that specific morning, for some reason, I took my husband's big 4Runner, and thank heavens I did, because I would have been like a jelly bean lost in that water.
It was massive.
Yes.
And then to let you guys know, if your car stalls and water gets sucked up in the engine, that's it.
That's it.
Oh,
Bye-bye to your engine.
That's it.
That's the best of the worst case scenario. Then the worst case is you get injured or you get pulled away and dragged down the road.
That's why it's just not worth it when we show people these washes or roads that are just washed out, and you see some that go through.
Yep.
Don't do it.
You can't do it.
Turn around, don't drown.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a simple phrase, but
Or like I said,
abide
you
by
make
that.
it and you blow out your electrical system in your
you
car,
mess
and
up
they're
your
like, guess
car.
what? It's going to be about $10,000 to fix
Deal
your
with that
car.
aftermath.
People have to come
So-
save you.
We're going to be following this, of course, like Jimmy said, all weekend long. Possibility of hitting Sunday. Part of us hope that it will just move off to the west.
This is one of these situations I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong. And right now, a lot of the models are pushing it to the west.
Yeah.
So I'd rather get just a few showers,
Yeah.
everyone laughs about it, as opposed to a direct hit, and then we are in a mess.
We'll see what happens. Of course, stay with 12 News for all the very latest. We want to get you up to speed on what happened during our show on 12 today in our In Case You Missed It segment, where we are talking dating.
Older is often seen as something to fear. I know. But a new study says at least one thing that gets better with age is your self-esteem.
True.
It found 60 seems to be best
Whoa.
for self-esteem after your midlife crisis.
Shoot.
Thank you, and that new red car. Those positive feelings may stay at their peak for an entire decade. Apparently, that's a time when most adults feel highly stable in relationships as well as work. What do you guys think?
60s and 70s?
We said maybe in your 30s.
I
but
was thinking
apparently it's
30s, like
twice
35. That's when you feel like confident, you're good, you know?
man.
You should be.
Apparently got to double that, and then you
Yeah.
feel even better.
I think 60 is going to be good. Vegas, crap tables, martinis, retirement.
See? Because you're
Not
really
everyone
close
retires
to your
at
grandma.
60.
Okay, I got a plan.
I'm like, my mom still works and she's 60.
I mean, they said 60, 70. So if I'm not done working by 70, I did it wrong. Life. We'll see.
That's true, I guess.
Save your money.
Save your
Don't
money.
blow it on coffee, expensive coffee.
Millennials are the worst at saving.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's because everyone has too much debt.
Yeah, and it's all your credit card is attached to this thing right
Yeah.
there. And you
I
just
know.
do another one.
The first
do another
time that happened, someone just scanned their phone to pay for something. Your phone pays for stuff? Can I borrow it? So weird. That's the one I
What if
want to
someone
find.
Never see the
snatches
money.
your phone and then they just whoop?
Yep, it happens. That's a
Shopping
huge
spree.
problem. That's why I don't put it on my phone.
So ideal age for confidence, 60 years old.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, me too. I
Kinda
thought
bums
it would be
me out.
like your late 30s, mid 30s, you know, because you're somewhat established at that time, maybe in a relationship or married, starting to have kids, you know, so that's what I would think. You'd be like, okay, everything's good. I'm confident. I'm good to go. Got my job.
I think maybe the reason why they say 60 is because it's after that alleged midlife crisis we're all expected to have. So you're done
it's
with
coming.
that. You're done.
It's coming,
You're
trust
done
me.
worrying about that, and you just kind of.
What is the normal
you
age
kind of
for a
accept.
midlife crisis?
I think.
Well,
Like in the 40s?
upper 30s into your 40s.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Really? I
Did
would
you
say
go
it was
through it?
later.
I thought it was like 50.
Oh, I went through one.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, big time. And
How long
I
did it
never
last?
been married. A few years. You witnessed it.
Why?
You witnessed the parade
No, he
marching
was
through
just-
here.
This guy was living life.
Yeah.
But you know what? During that time, you weren't. I loved you.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I wasn't
Always
like,
shut
I
up.
didn't do anything too crazy.
Is it when
No.
I first started? Like, I started about 4 years ago, and you
Right
had a
about
fun
then.
dating life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's time to.
I'd hear stories.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. I met the girl of my dreams, so it is. But you know what? I don't know. I think they say midlife crisis. This is what triggers it. When you start realizing that there's certain things in life that you've always thought you were going to accomplish that are now off the table because of your age. Like you're never going to climb Mount Everest like you always thought you were going to. You're never going to swim the English Channel. It's not going to happen. And, you know.
But you,
Set a new
you
bucket
can.
list.
We see the stories of people that are 100
You know
years
what I'm
old
talking
that are
about.
hiking.
You just
you
reset
know?
your goals, and that's fine.
You're not going to have that beach house in Malibu and married to that really wealthy, hot executive producer. It's not going to happen.
I know.
Earl's not going to get that promotion, and he's not going to make that much money.
Stinking Earl.
Okay. Okay.
So
you
much
know
hanging
what?
on that guy. We are going to now
question
talk
here.
about dating. Darn it! Can you be too attractive, or can being too attractive hurt your dating life? Experts came out with this study that the more attractive you are, the harder time you have dating.
Yeah, and it came from one of the dating sites, right? That guys that rated themselves a 10 got less messages than the men that rated themselves a 6.
Yes.
And the same thing with women.
Don't you think you'd be more apt to messaging someone who was a 6 or a 7 rather than a 10. Because then I would immediately judge that guy, be like, man, you think you are F-I-N-E.
If someone thinks they're a hard 10 out there, I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe you're a little bit of a narcissist. I mean, if I were, gauging my own measurement that way, I would say, well, I wouldn't expect people to be on board. Thinking I was maybe overly confident.
Well, like Paul said, remember before, that he would rather go after an average woman because it's easier. He knows that he's going to land the date with her. Oh,
he's okay. Someone
like and versus someone else that's like.
Paul's got
maybe
issues.
a 10.
Paul's got issues. No, that's don't.
You can
don't
only
listen
say
to
that because
Paul.
he's not here.
Don't listen to Paul.
He said someone else is
He's
a
not
10,
here to
he'd get
defend
rejected,
himself.
and he was scared, that he would get rejected, and he didn't want that to happen.
So all the attractive people out there that are still single, that's why. You're just too good looking.
It's not your looks, it's how you present yourself.
I think so too.
100%.
I have known girls that are very pretty, but they vavoom maybe, or they look way too. That is something that's not that attractive. A guy would rather have a girl she could be that beautiful, but she's just more toned down. She's classy. She looks like the girl next door. She's nice. She's like that gem, like, oh my gosh, nobody else has seen her. I could have this girl versus the, look at me. I've arrived.
Well, they said it's like high maintenance, right?
Yeah, that's what
but
you said
it's
earlier.
like, what do you consider high maintenance? Like for our business, right? We always have to be well maintained and groomed and all that. But we take care of it. Like, we're not expecting other people to take care of it.
We're not looking for someone to foot the bill on the pedicures, and the manicures,
eventually
and the hair,
we know
and
we
the
will be
clothes.
footing the bill. That's the problem.
Do we?
Eventually we know we will be
take
paying
that
for all
on.
of this. Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, guys see that.
But what if you can do both? Like, what if you can
You're
throw
a unicorn.
a
You're
baseball
a
cap
unicorn.
and go out, and with no makeup and be okay, and then also you get all dressed up and done up at the same time. Like, you can do both, right?
Yeah,
It is
absolutely.
one of the greatest questions in our world today. Why you're not married? I don't get it, but
And I really wish people would stop
Really
asking.
mystery.
I know. I get it all the
insane.
time.
When I was growing up, I liked that girl next door, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't get her. Do you know who she was with?
What?
The 6'4" Adonis. She was with, I mean,
She was with the
they
10.
all got these hot dudes. And I wouldn't even complain once I saw them together. I'd be like, oh, I get it. I get it. But I'm like, how? I thought I was getting some girl that, okay, I can get her,
So
no,
the whole Ken and Barbie thing is over. They're
Oh,
Ken,
no, you can't
Ken
have two of that in a
wants
relationship.
Teresa,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
friend.
Yeah.
Teresa.
And I've also known a lot of really good-looking dudes, friends of mine that have dated real average girls, that married average girls.
Yeah.
That's
what my husband did.
Yeah. No,
You're
no.
not average.
Your girl next
Stop
door.
right now.
Your
We're not
girl
even
next door,
humoring that.
gorgeous.
What's next? We're not humoring.
Okay, this is a funny story
We're
too.
still
Vanessa.
talking about dating here. So if you're single and you're a guy looking for more dates, you may want to pay attention and talk fast. A new study in France found that guys who talk fast tend to do better with women. Researchers say it's not clear why the women preferred guys who talk fast, but they believe it may be a sign of confidence.
That's what I was going to say.
Or that confident men just tend to talk faster.
I'll say this. I do like when a man can answer a question pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
on it.
I don't know that him talking fast is necessarily what's attractive, but for him to be able to answer a question quickly is good. I like that off the cuff, quick response.
So I'm the opposite because I would think if a guy talks fast, he's a BSer.
Oh,
Right? Because he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, let me come back. I'm talking fast to you. I'm trying to
Maybe you need to
distract
change that
you.
scale completely.
that's interesting.
maybe do something different.
That's a good point, though. I might get the same vibe where it's like you're trying a little too hard and there's something, you're hiding something.
You know what's worked for me always, and it's not a tactic. It's just who I am. I talk about everything. I'll tell you anything that you want, and I think girls love that because a lot of guys don't.
That's true.
You're right. I'll tell you about everything. Oh, when I was a kid, what was my biggest fear? Blah blah blah. Biggest breakup. A lot of guys, I don't really want to talk about it.
I like when guys rattle off stuff that I would never even consider looking into. Stuff about cars, stuff about music, stuff about
Trips.
and it could all be fabricated. but I'm interested because we're listeners as journalists. We're listeners, and so I like when people just kind of flood me with information and stuff so that I can ask questions.
Oh, all these guys are taking notes right now. You know that, right?
Good, bring it on. Let's
So
talk.
Jeff chimed in. He said people are picky. It doesn't have anything to do with being attractive. People are just picky. What about the grass is greener on the other side syndrome? Like, I think a lot of
Huge.
people have that.
Huge.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
not. It's not. And when you get over there, a lot of times you find out it's artificial grass.
Oh, the right.
Fake grass.
The right.
You know what, though?
design.
I think that with how social media and the internet has changed men and women's brains into thinking it's as easy as a swipe. We can treat people like swiping.
Yeah.
You know, and that if you say one wrong thing or you do one thing that's maybe different, it's so easy just to swipe over and go on to the next thing.
And everybody lies ever since social media started. No one ever tells the truth about themselves.
Yeah.
It's always your best foot forward, your best picture, from 10 years ago, or whenever you took that at Cabo or wherever you were, and you never get the truth. No one ever says, well, I'm kind of this, or I'm really messy, or I'm kind of in debt. No one ever does that. Right. So you're just swiping, oh, he's great, or she's hot, or she's wonderful.
I really wonder how this is all going to evolve into the next generations, because where do we go from here?
It's bad right now.
With how dating is. Yeah. What's next? Yeah. Like, really?
I think they'll just put the goggles on and it'll be like virtual dating.
Right?
Like, oh, hey, they're nice.
Seriously,
place. I like this.
But I mean, it is so difficult because, like you said, no one puts the effort anymore. No one wants to work hard, and they don't want the challenge anymore. It's like, oh, you're too hard to work for. Let me just go to the next person.
Because there's 18 on your phone right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have a bunch of girlfriends and guy friends that are supporting you in the breakup. They don't do that anymore.
Yes.
Back then, now they do. It's like, oh, girlfriend, you deserve to be happy. You need to leave him.
Right.
Yeah, that is true.
Back in the old days, they got you together, so you need to make this work.
Yeah.
You got kids, or you got a house, or he's a good guy.
Yeah, you overlook so many good qualities with that one thing that pops up, and you're like, oh, no, I'm done with you. And then you lose out on
You know what it is? I'm telling you right now, it's birds of a feather. You have to be with people that are, if that's what you want. If you want a relationship, you need to be with people in relationships. You need to be with people that are married, that stay married, good or bad, and you will become that. That'll be the consistent forever. It always has been. You are who you hang out with. And if you want to hang out with people that are having great relationships, then that's who you'll become. But if you're out with the single people, you're in the bars.
What if you're out with the single people trying to find other people? Maybe not at the bars, but like out and about.
There's probably a happy medium there.
You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right, because that's happened to me before. You hang out with a bunch of married people, and it's like, oh, hey, you're the odd one out.
Yeah.
You know what? You say the grass is greener, and there's some good people out there that will say the grass is green where you water it.
Oh.
So
yes,
keep that in mind.
Amen. Where you invest your time.
If you're hot, it's harder for you to get a date. Guys, if you want a date, talk faster.
Yes.
Right? And the grass.
And for the rest of us, it's National Drink Beer Day, and Vanessa and I will see you later tonight out at the bar.
Let's get you over to our extra shot, everyone. Hey, we had a great time in North Phoenix. Where are we headed to next? Brandon Hamilton with everything A to Z.
Handsome Brandon.
12 News is everything Arizona, and we are taking you everywhere from A to Z. And the week of October 8th, we will be in Cave Creek. Now, wait a minute, that's not all. We'll also be in Carefree. Check out this town. It's here in Carefree that you will discover endless opportunities, from the iconic sundial to the Carefree Desert Gardens and Enchanted Pumpkin Garden. It all sounds really cool, but can we head back to Cave Creek now? We will be off-roading in the desert, digging into history, doing some good old-fashioned line dancing, and eating great food. Join us the week of October 8th right here on 12 News, everything Arizona. I just prefer Cave Creek. I don't know. Well, I prefer Carefree, so you're just going to have to deal with it.
Could we deal with two Brandons?
Double handsome.
That
Double
actually be great.
handsome.
Pay him one salary. I mean, I think he'd be set. Let's get that guy. You guys, thank you so much for joining us right here on the 12 Today After Show. Of course, Jimmy Q, follow him all weekend long. He'll have the latest on what's going on with Hurricane Rosa. And then, I mean, we're going to be covering it.
Yes,
Lindsay, the
absolutely.
whole team.
Yeah, check our social media, follow us. They're going to be retweeting us. We'll be retweeting them. You retweet our stuff. Like our pages, too. We love it when you like our Facebook pages.
Good luck dating this weekend.
Yeah. But maybe I'm not that interested, but now she's interested, and then you get to the door and you do the awkward hug.
Grass is not greener on the other side.
Enjoy Drink a Beer Day.
Woohoo!